Hello, everyone. I'm Jamie Vaughn, and I am here today with Juan and Lisa Winans. How are you guys?
We're doing
Fantastic.
well.
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you holding up through all of this shelter in place?
Whew.
Probably like everybody else.
Yeah. I mean, we have the benefit of having a lot of love and joy in our house, and our daughter is amazing and has such a wonderful outlook, and Juan's mom is here, and she's been such a blessing and a great help with Soph. And then we have the added, I think, leg up because we work together already, so this isn't new to us. But I am a bit stir crazy for sure, and ready to get out.
Yeah, it's one of those moments where you can kind of go nuts, or you can try at least to count your blessings and figure out, maybe reprioritize some of the ways in which we see life, the things we value. And I think that presents us an opportunity, like it has, millions, maybe even billions of other people, just to sit back and say, you know what, we have a lot to be grateful for. Let's
Right.
think about those things and focus in on that.
Yeah.
As artists, how are you filling your time?
We're talking a lot about our new song. We're writing more songs. Lisa's doing a lot of painting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Sophia has a lot of school projects. So there's
Juan
no
has gone back
shortage
to
of
drawing. We brought art back into
Yeah,
our
yeah.
home, made lots of curbside pickups to our local art stores, and
Yeah.
just trying to keep those creative juices flowing any way we can.
Yeah.
A lot of baking as well. So
You have a new single out called It Belongs to Me. And
Yes.
Martin L. Winans. So we have the family legacy there. The song is beautiful. I'd love to hear the inspiration and the story behind it.
Well, first of all, thank you for saying that. Yes, It Belongs to Me is our new song featuring our uncle, but also like the one and only Marvin L. Winans. So we're really excited about that. The song came like a year and a half ago, and it feels perfect now, like in God's sovereignty for this moment. But really, we wrote it over a year ago and started the process of recording it, arranging it, producing it, getting my uncle involved. And it's really just driving down the street. God gave me a melody and lyrics, and we just started to build it out from there. As I got the lyrics and the melody, I didn't hear my voice. I didn't hear it in Lisa's voice. I actually heard the song coming to me in my uncle's voice. And so at that moment, it was just kind of trying to figure out, well, is it because he's like my favorite singer, or is there
Mine
something,
too.
or is there something more divine in this interaction? And I think in the purpose of God, he was meant to be a part of the song, and I'm really happy that he is. It's kind of a dream come true in many ways.
And it can be found on all digital services, correct?
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
yes.
absolutely.
Anywhere you listen to music, anywhere you purchase music, we're blessed to partnered up with a good friend of ours and a veteran of the Christian music industry, Michael Anthony Taylor, with Dare Records, and we're just making great music and just really excited about what God is doing.
And can I say how much I love your Christmas EP called A Little Soul for Christmas? I was listening to it
Thank
this
you.
morning, even though it's May.
I love that. I'm like, wait, a little early.
It's a little early, but listen, we will take it, no judgment.
It was so good.
Yeah, I think we have a lot of springtime Christmas music lovers that kind of hide in the shadows until like October, November. But thank you. That's huge. That means a lot.
Yeah,
I
it
don't like
does.
the shadows for it. I love it. And I
Well,
love
thank
the
you.
original songs on there too, but also you take those classic Christmas hymns and add such a really cool vibe to it, and such a different sound. Because I think so many times Christmas music, everybody does the same songs over and over again, and they all sound the same. So anytime someone can make that sound different for me, I love it.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. That was a goal of ours. We wanted to do a Christmas album where we had original songs, but like you said, classics with like a little bit of a retro, and like literally walking around thinking, what would it sound like to have "Oh Come All You Faithful," Lisa singing it like a la Aretha Franklin,
Which
that late
petrified me.
60s. She's like, I don't know if I want to do it. It's like, no, we got to do it. We got to do it. But I think moments like that are, for us, what make the Christmas EP special.
Yeah. So some of our viewers, our younger viewers, may not know much about the background of both of you. Now, Lisa, you come from a Dove Award-winning group that was one of my favorites, Out of Eden. And
Yes.
you are one of the Winans, and we're in I mean, come on. Now, growing up, was this something that you wanted to do, or is it just kind of something that happened because of your last name?
Oh, no, I did not want to sing growing up. I remember spending many nights in the studio falling asleep. And I recently had this recollection of being in the studio when the Winans recorded with Anita Baker, this song, Ain't No Need to Worry. And really being intrigued by the process, but also very much so like, I want to do this. Everybody else does this. If I do this, I'll be like everybody else. No, 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 that can't happen. And so I wanted to be an anesthesiologist, go to school. Yeah, kind of get into medicine and take that path. When I was about 16, I really felt the call of God. I knew that I could sing. I knew God had given me the ability to. But at that moment is when I actually connected that ability with purpose. And I think that that's how I started, at least in music.
And how about for you, Lisa? How did you start?
So it's kind of interesting. We have some similar personalities, I guess, because from the time I was 5, I wanted to be a doctor also.
Oh, really?
But I also wrote my first song when I was 5. And I come from a musical family as well. My mother is a concert pianist and directed the Fifth Jubilee Singers in Nashville, which is what brought us to Nashville. She heard that Benson Records, I'm going way back, was looking for a female version of New Kids on the Block. Mm-hmm. And this kind of coincided with her job at Fisk University. So she was like, you guys are moving to Nashville and you guys are going to be a singing group. And we started dancing for different Christian artists. And then we met DC Talk. We met Toby and we sang for him. And 2 years later, he started Go To Productions. And we went on tour with DC Talk for the Free at Last tour. And it's funny because Juan and I started dating around 2005. And we went to my mom's house and she had a CCM magazine where my sisters and I were on the cover. I think it was our No Turning Back album. And so she was like, oh, you remember this? And we're looking through it. And on the back was Phase 2. So it was just like, wow.
They got the front cover. We got the back cover.
Like,
so there was a little bit of a difference.
But it was like Kismet.
Yeah.
A copy of that because I'm sure we have some in the archives. So just
that'd be amazing.
Please, yeah.
We'll find them for you. That would be so cool. I love that. I love the serendipity that God sometimes puts into our lives.
Exactly. Me too.
So you are both songwriters, and you have some really exciting news. There is this amazing TV show on NBC called Songland. It is so interesting, and you are on there writing a song for Boys to Men. How did that come about?
So, like I mentioned, Danielle, Andre, and I out of Eden, we were on Go To Records, which was run by Joey Elwood. And last year, last February, or February before last, Joey called me up and said, a friend of ours is doing this show on NBC. It sounds like a really cool concept. I think it'd be perfect for you and Juan. What do you think? So we talked and we decided, okay, let's, submit songs. It can't hurt. Juan and I had we weren't really interested in like competition shows or, people had asked, would you do The Voice or would you do, and I love watching them, but I would not really want to be in that position. But we said, let's just see what happens. So we went through the whole process. We met with the producers. We had these really long FaceTimes and phone conversations, and they were like, okay, you're at the final final round of judging or whatever. If you are picked, if your song is picked, you need to be in LA in 2 days. Wow. We were just like, oh my gosh. And then we got the phone call the following day that we didn't make it. And we were kind of like crushed, like, wow, I thought this was God. I thought this was, a great opportunity.
And this is over the course of like 3 months.
Yes.
And so it's like this up and down thing. Yeah.
Exactly. So we didn't make that one. And then they asked us to submit again. And we were kind of like, no, I don't think I want to put my heart out there again. But we decided to just go for it and to kind of put our pride aside and just to, keep trusting God in the process. And sure enough, they picked our song. We flew to LA and found out once we got to LA in a meeting with the producers that we were going to be submitting or, performing our song in front of the one and only Boys to, in front of Boys to Men. So it was like,
mind blowing. It was like, wow, okay. Like you grew up being so inspired by different artists, different groups. And for both of us, Boys to Men, they're one of those groups. They're iconic, not just in our world or in like the African American, but in the entire lexicon of music. They are just iconic artists. And so being in that position was pretty surreal,
Yeah.
and we had an amazing experience. What we both love about this show is that people turn on the radio and they listen to music, but they don't quite understand the work and the process that goes into creating that music. And Songland and NBC, I like kudos to them because they do such a great job of pulling back the curtain and showing you the hard work that just really starts with the songwriter.
Yeah.
And so we're really happy to be a part of it.
So are you allowed to tell us who your mentor was, or if you
Of
want?
course not. Of course not, Jamie. We don't even have a mentor. We're contestants. We show up, we pitch our song, and the rest is not history yet, but it will be soon.
Yes, May 25th is when our episode airs. May 25th.
Yep.
So.
All right.
It's coming Monday. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I will be glued to my television that night. I'm so excited for y'all. Okay,
Thank
so
you.
I always love to ask writers who come on, what is the favorite lyric or song you've ever written?
Ooh. Ever?
Or one that you really love that you've written recently. I don't care. I just love to hear the songwriting process and the thoughts behind why you pick certain words to go together.
So I have one that's coming to mind. It's a song. This song didn't get a lot of airtime or anything like that, but it was an Out of Eden song, and I loved the rhyme scheme to it. Mm-hmm. And can I remember it? But it said, "Oh, it's hard to understand that there is a master plan, that He's got my life in His hands, and there's reason in a time and season for everything that comes along. Though it feels all hope is gone, just keep on believing." So that's one of my favorites.
What comes to mind right now is I wrote a song for Michael Bolton, who's an artist I grew up loving, and the lyric is, "There you sit inside your fortress that you fixed to keep the rapids out, atop the walls of tamed emotions, looking down at the fools who tried to come alive in someone's eyes in hope they'd be all right." And it's all about the process of letting go to love someone and the risk that you take. And if you don't take that risk, you're kind of always in judgment of other people, but you're not really living, the best life or the life that God intends for you, because so much of that is just community and relationships and taking those steps to say, you know what, I'm going to be vulnerable enough to give my heart away and trust that something good is going to happen.
Yeah. Okay. Flip side of that question. If there is a song you wish you could have written, what would it have been?
Oh my God. 1 million of those.
For sure. There's a song that Tommy Sims wrote. And again, what's it called?
Don't matter to the sun.
That's a great one. Yeah, pretty much anything that Tommy Sims wrote. But Change Your World is one of the most amazing songs. And I wish that I had thought of that.
All of Stevie Wonder's songs are songs that, you just wish you could have written.
Yeah.
If it's magic.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. A lot of it.
The whole song's in the key of life, essentially.
The whole album.
Pick one.
Yeah. So do you have a message of hope that you'd want to leave for our viewers today?
Yes, and this is so much of what It Belongs to Me is about. There are over 5,000 promises that God makes to His people in His word. And so It Belongs to Me is simply saying, God has promised you some things, and really it's up to you, it's up to us to receive those by faith. He's offered salvation, He's promised healing, He's promised blessing, and ultimately He's promised us an eternity with Him in heaven. And so that's what the song says, it belongs to me. And if I could encourage anybody, I think if we could encourage any of your listeners, it would be, we're in a difficult season. And even after this season, there will be other difficult seasons. Yeah. But what never changes is God and His word. It remains true wherever you find yourself in life, in a valley, if things are going great. We still have to walk in His promises and receive them on a daily basis. And that is what should be shaping and dictating and informing your disposition and how you look at every single day. Because God has so many great things and they do belong to you.
Love that.
Amen.
Juan and Lisa, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to talk to us at CCM. I so appreciate it.
Thank you
thank you
so
for having
much,
us.
Jamie. Thank you.
Hey.